Hello, and welcome to the Bowling University studio from the International Bowling Campus in Arlington, Texas. I'm Kelly Bednar, and I'll be your host for this edition of the Bowling University Profit Break. Thanks for joining us. Our mission here at Bowling University is to enrich people's lives personally and professionally. And the Profit Break is an opportunity for sharing insights on how to grow revenue, reduce costs, enrich yourself, your team, and your business. If you're joining the Profit Break for the first time, welcome. We're glad you're here. Give us 15 minutes and you'll be on your way to improving your profitability. Today's show is just one of several episodes where we share some strategies, opportunities, and systems for developing and executing an annual plan. Today we take a closer look at the numbers to determine which opportunities might be best for your operation. So let's jump right in with a little high-level review. We'll start with, again, we're talking about our strategies for developing an annual marketing plan from our course of the same name. So remember, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity, and annual planning is all about preparation. And today we're talking specifically about opportunities. So we're going to plan our opportunities, and we're going to create our own luck by being prepared. Because hope by itself is not a strategy, but you can create our own luck. So the 6 reasons on a high level why you need a marketing plan. It forces you to think, get you ahead of the game, get you thinking outside the box at times. Think about physically composing your marketing plan, because you can't have a marketing plan without the annual plan. So the two work hand in hand. A plan creates a set of measurable goals, and if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Well, we have to have something to measure and hold ourselves accountable, not just ourselves, but our team all the way down the line. And then it motivates us and puts everyone on the same page, puts leadership and the team and even our guests understanding what our overall goals and strategies are for our facility. You'll spend your time and your money more wisely. Not just your money, but also your human equity, right? Because we want to make sure we use the right people in the right place at the right time. Because all of us have limited resources right now, and we want to make sure that we are getting the right people doing the right things at the right time, maximizing our efficiency, if you will. And we want to get to ourselves be more proactive rather than reactive. Because when we start thinking ahead of the game, we can reduce the stress, and we can eventually provide, number 6, better guest service. So to tie all of it together, you end up spending less money, spending less time, being proactive rather than reactive, giving better guest service. So the annual plan, much like is just like a GPS. So think of it this way. If you plan out the year in advance, but then you drilled it down into quarters, and then you drill it down by month. Well, quarters is like the road you're going to drive on, and then drilling it down to month by month is the turn by turn, the actual tactics, the things you're going to be doing at that given moment to get you onto that next road, right? So think of it as a GPS as you're going the way, because planning at this level provides the roadmap to guide you along the path to achieving those goals that we're looking to get to. Thinking it from a quarterly standpoint, quarterly is purely prioritizing and then making adjustments. Prioritizing meaning that we look at what's coming up in that next quarter, we look at what's coming up in this next group of time, and then you're looking at adjustments based on what your data is telling you that you've done for these last quarters. So looking at things both behind you at a quarter at a time, ahead of you a quarter at a time, allows you to prioritize and then make adjustments along the way. And then monthly planning is kind of scary sometimes, because without monthly planning, a couple things can happen. You look at the annual, the long-range goals, and you've seen them seem as quite overwhelming, because you've got this huge honking goal that you want to get to. But on a monthly basis, it's not so bad, because you need to get yourself out of the mindset that there's plenty of time to do it. The monthly planning gets you get into that monthly plan, and sometimes you get into a mindset that, we got plenty of time. But if you're doing things on a monthly basis of what needs to get done this month and this month only, you're not worried about there's plenty of time to do it, because you're taking a little chunk of it at a time. That's the one bite at a time kind of methodology. And then When we start talking this monthly planning, we need to start looking at opportunities. So when we look at opportunities on a monthly basis, opportunities as a starting point to build the plan and include the details, such as maybe leagues or events that you want to have, group events that you're going to be doing. So we look at things on a monthly basis rather than a holistic year-round basis. And then once you've identified those opportunities, this is where the 90-60-30 method comes into play, because the 90-60-30 defines the tactics to go after the opportunities are defined. We'll cover that 90-60-30 in another episode of the Profit Break. So let's look at opportunity versus inventory. And this is the one that when we do this one in person, this gets everybody thinking. So I want you to take a moment and think about this. There are two ways of considering your center, and you should focus your plan. Your inventory on any given day, on any given day part, or the opportunities available when you have more customers already in the center. Which one of these will move you closer to your sales goals? So think about this for a moment. You have inventory on a given day and within a given day part, and then opportunities when you're available and your centers are already there. Let's break this down. Let's look at this for a second. An example scenario. On Saturdays, just to use some numbers here, your average Saturday is 8,000. Maybe you're higher, maybe you're lower, it's not relevant. We're just looking at comparably to another day. And on Tuesday, it's traditionally slower, and the average revenue is $2,000. So now we have an $8,000 day and a $2,000 day. So when we start talking about opportunity versus inventory, which of these 2 days would give you a greater opportunity for growth of your revenues? Saturday, with already having 8,000, or Tuesday, when it's traditionally slower? And let me tell you, when we do this piece in live, and we have this course in person at our management schools, almost all of everybody says Tuesday. And they look at it because I've got more opportunity, got more inventory there. I can do more with Tuesday than I can on Saturday. But truly, which of these two holds the greater opportunity for growth today, right now? Which one would get you there? I want you to think about Tuesday for a second. When you think about Tuesday's slow for a reason, isn't it? Is there, what's going on? So there's more than one way to look at how to boost sales. Let's weigh Saturday against Tuesday. Consider that you already have a packed center, and so more opportunity exists. It is relatively easier to take the 8,000 in revenues to 12,000 because you have more customers already in the center than it would be to try to double Tuesday's revenues to 4,000. So we can get $4,000 more revenue on Saturday and only $2,000 on Tuesday with similar effort. So when we're looking about how to growth and what our opportunities, we have to make this decision in our scenario because Tuesdays are slow for a reason. All right, maybe it's a slow day, and I personally came from the Southeast where Wednesdays were the slow day. It was tough to fill Wednesday nights. Oftentimes you have a lot of people who are going to church and things are happening. So Wednesdays were always slow. I could use this as a Wednesday night example from my own personal experience. So it was tough. It would be much easier to fill Saturday with more revenue, whether we did it with food specials, or we did some sort of a package deal, or we did something that packaged maybe one of our ancillary incomes together to grow the revenues on Saturday. So when you're looking at opportunity versus inventory, you want to look not just at all the day parts in a given day, but it's also to consider where those gaps are to fill and where can we boost existing sales. So maybe we have a good Saturday, people are already in there, but we're not maximizing the revenue for that day. Yes. Do we want to fill gaps? Yes. Do we want to fill in all those league holes? Do we want to fill Tuesdays or whatever? Certainly. But we have to weigh out in our individual scenario which one makes more sense for your individual business? And I don't have the answer to that. I wish we could just say, here's the magic bean. Well, it isn't a magic bean. We have to look at each individual business and determine which one's going to be best for you. And when factoring those and when looking at that, you have to analyze your data and answer some questions. And here's a list of questions. And if you get to the bottom and you need to pause this to write all these questions down, I'll wait for you, okay? So here you go. Which months are busiest? Which ones, when you look at your data, which ones were your, don't guess, go back to your data and say which months were my busiest ones. Which months did business volume slow down? What type of events were considered successful? What types of events were not successful? When is league activity its highest and its lowest? What can we do in looking at, again, looking at our data? We're not guessing. We're looking back at our history here. And then based on all your analysis, what types of opportunities do you see available, i.e. months with slower activities, events with strong or weaknesses? Where can we put things? What can we do? But taking a look at our data and seeing where we can look from the past, showing us our future. And then don't forget, when you're doing this, to look at maintaining your monthly regular business. What do you have now? We can't negate or neglect the business we already have. That must be considered in the overall scheme of things. And as we mentioned, fill the open inventory that is available by selecting and creating various programs to promote and fill the holes that you might have, not only in inventory, but what programs you offer. And then the obvious place to start is with your leagues, right? We always are looking at where do we have leagues? Where can we put some league business? Is it slowing in July? Would you want to promote some special leagues for the slowdown period? What can we do? And that would be a nice place to start, might be your leagues. And if you're not a league house, well, then maybe you're looking at your group events. Where do our group events slow down the most? Where do we have our, hey, we know we're good in December, but we don't do a lot of groups in September, right? Things of that nature. And then keep in mind certain times of the year are more fertile than others. As I mentioned, December for group events. But also think about this. I'm just going to throw it out there. May and June is a high demand time for post-proms and for post-graduation events. So you think about the event, the activity of graduation and proms, and how could you maximize that opportunity as an opportunity in your business cycle? And then don't forget to analyze some of your current programs. And this is one thing that always got me. We'd try something and then we would never try it again because, it failed. If something failed, you have to ask yourself, was it the program itself or the planning that caused the poor performance? Did you poorly plan? Did you really, truly give that program all the success it needed, all the tools it needed to be successful? Right? Did you plan out far enough advanced? Did you really use the 90-60-30 method to get this program where it needed to be? And now I'm just going to go back and summarize some of this. Summarizing your identifying opportunities. What did we talk about today? Identify your groups, types of groups, right? So when we talk about your categories, subcategories, corporate, social, nonprofit, what can we do? And then drill down and develop your subcategories. Example, Labor Day. Who's free to go bowling on Labor Day? Who's off work? What can we do? What can we do to create something? So think about the calendar in itself and what you can do to grow your business. And then continuing to identify your opportunities, obtain that calendar. Like I just said, look for your affinity groups. What's going on in October, November, December? October is National Down Syndrome Month, right? We have Thanksgiving in November. In December, we have the holidays, right? So each individual month, I'll promise you, every month has something going on. If you Google that, you will find out there's something there for everyone. And then school websites, affinity groups, Legion, VFW, Moose Lodges, all of those types of different groups, anybody who has something in common, church groups, all of those things are opportunities for you to look for to grow your business, to fill those holes, to fill the opportunities that you might have. And then various awareness causes in a given month, National Childhood Obesity Month. All of those different things are ways that you can grow your business. And then define what would appeal to targeted groups. So once you figure out what group you want to do, define something that would appeal to them. Find something that will work in your business to draw them in and utilize your business to be part of their organization? What are the best times? How will you promote to them? And finally, what activities do you need to do to make that happen? And we're going to get into that more in another profit break, where we're going to talk about specifically breaking that down into that 90-60-30 process. If you want to take this to the next level and learn even more about planning and developing an annual plan and determining where to spend your resources, both human and financial capital, we encourage you to take advantage of the online course, Strategies for Developing an Annual Marketing Plan, in the On-Demand program. If you're not sure and need help getting started, reach out to us here at Bowling University. As we wrap up another edition of the Bowling University Profit Break, remember that when your focus is on growing people, people will grow your business. We look forward to seeing you next time for another great Profit Break episode. If you have any questions about today's show or would like additional information, you can reach us at education@bpaa.com. Also, all previous Profit Break episodes are now available 24/7 for you and your team to watch at bowlinguniversity.net. Plus, new Profit Break episodes are available every month, so mark your calendar, watch your email, and join us on Facebook to hear more about our latest episodes. Until then, I'm Kelly Bednar, and do for one what you wish you could do for everyone. We'll see you next time.